What is up, YouTube friends and motorcycle enthusiasts? This is Accelerate making another video. Out here having fun, trying to enjoy this nice weather while we can. It's end of January, so we got to get it in when we can, right? Because the snow is coming down every other week, it seems like. And today was nice. It was about 60. And then it cooled off a little bit. It's probably 50 right now. But no worries, right? In my Joe Rocket Survivor suit, nice and toasty. I got no worries about the weather and the wind. So I wanted to make this video and talk about something I've been considering for a little while, and that's possibly buying a dual sport motorcycle. So, I'll start really with why I started looking at dual sports and what the appeal is there for me. So, as I've been watching a lot of YouTube and getting into bikes again, and starting that whole experience that we love about bikes and gear and mods, and looking at all the stuff that's out there and getting other people's opinions on things, I found out that there's this whole other world that I'm missing and that I didn't really put much thought into, which is dual sporting, or also known as adventure riding. So these guys essentially take motorcycles out there, and they're bikes that really are primarily for the road, but also go on the dirt. And I'm talking mostly about adventure riding here. And they go on these long trips. They take their tent, they take their everything they can carry with them, and they go out and they take a trip and a combination of pavement and dirt. And they go out and they go camping and do all this stuff. And it really kind of appealed to me, that freedom of being able to go from the street to the dirt and back to the street and so on and so forth. And I thought that was really cool. So, we know that the term adventure riding is probably a newer term, and the term dual sport motorcycle has really been around forever. Dirt bikes that are road legal, that have mirrors and plates on them. So, it's the adventure portion is really just kind of coming to the scene, and so I got interested in it, looking at some people's channels. Cycle Cruiser, I follow him. He picked up a WR250R, started riding on the dirt more. Everride, which his riding's primarily on the dirt, but and some other guys out there, and it really started to appeal to me, this idea of dual sport bikes. And a lot of the things that they say, in their opinion, that echoes in my mind, and it makes sense, because the street is a dangerous place to ride motorcycles. And I love riding out here on these country roads. There's not a lot of traffic. I can cruise, and I can goose it every now and again and get that exhilaration. And I'm away from other vehicles for the most part. I'm not in town, stoplight to stoplight, getting cut off and all that. So I like that freedom of the open road, and dirt is just more of that, right? Because on the dirt there are no other vehicles. There's other obstacles that you have to contend with. There are trees. See them? Yep. They're out there, right? There are obstacles that you can hit and get hurt with, but a lot of it is lower speeds, and there's not other vehicles on the trails. So, to me, that appealed to me. And to me, for having to be able to go from the dirt to the street, I thought was a really neat thing. You could ride to where you're going, to a trail, on your road legal motorcycle, and then you can get on the trails and enjoy the trails. And for me, I thought that was neat. So I started looking at it more and seeing what dual sport and adventure riding, really what was out there and what it had to offer for me as a motorcycle enthusiast. So if any of you guys, dual sport riders out there, if you want to comment on your thoughts, just feel free. What you think of it, why you got into dual sport riding, and what your thoughts are with that activity. So my challenge, of course, like a lot of us is, I have my FZ09, which is going absolutely nowhere. I love this bike, and this is my primary street motorcycle. So for me, getting a dual sport would be adding to the garage, which, as many of you know, that would be a third motorcycle in the garage. And it's another bike to maintain. It's another bike to pay insurance on, though very cheap. It's another bike to purchase. So there's that. And not to mention that I recently just bought my brand new 2017 FZ09. So another bike purchase it's a little ways out. But if that opportunity comes, it's there's no way I would buy another road bike. If I was just going to ride on the street, then this would be it. My wife and I, we ride her Honda Shadow. If we double up, why would we take the FZ09 when we can? The Shadow does great, and it's more comfortable, more chill. So riding double. So I have a cruiser at my fingertips if I ever want to ride a cruiser, and I have my FZ09 if I want to ride it. So if I was to ever get another motorcycle, it would probably be a dual sport. So the question may come up, why not just get a dirt bike? They're way cheaper. There's no insurance associated with a dirt bike. Overall they're less expensive. My answer to that would be, a dirt bike is more maintenance. A lot of the dirt bikes out there are very high strung, the motors. And, hey buddy. And, there is a good bit of maintenance associated with dirt bikes, but also it's limited, right? So if I wanted to go ride on a trail somewhere, then I'm pretty much limited to loading up the dirt bike in the truck, taking it out, dealing with ramps, so on and so forth. So because of that, a dirt bike's really not going to happen. To me, it just doesn't make sense to get something that, usually people that own dirt bikes, it's their only motorcycle, they're into dirt, or they're into motocross, and they do that whole thing. So having a dual sport, in my mind, I don't need a truck. I don't need to load it up. I can just take it out. I can ride. My wife and I like to go camping. We have a toy hauler, 26-foot toy hauler that we can fit both of our street bikes in. And if we go out into a camping area that has dirt trails or ATV trails, then I can just ride on the road with her if she rides for Shadow, or I can take it out on the dirt trails. I can do both. So to me, that's how the dual sport appeals to me. And let me know what you guys think. Those of you that ride dual sports or have thought about it, or even street bike riders. Everybody's got an opinion, and I like hearing people's opinion on stuff. I like to think about all the different opinions that people have, and to see what everybody has to say. So I like it. I like the discussion. That's all I got for you guys. That's pretty much it. Whew. Gotta love this F-09, baby. Yeah, it's the good shit. I thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. This is Accelerate once again, signing off.